This recent House of Lords case is the classic modern expression of the statutory interpretation principle of legality. The principle itself is much older. We all know that the criminal justice system sometimes sends innocent people to prison. Lindy Chamberlain in Australia, the Central Park Five in the US, the Guildford Four in the UK. Once innocent people run out of appeals, all they can do is hope that a journalist might take an interest and dig for new evidence. In this case, two separate convicted murderers named Sims and O'Brien protested their innocence. They had both run out of appeals and had contacted journalists to investigate their cases. The journalists wanted to interview the prisoners in prison. The prison governors had extensive powers to regulate visits, and policy did not allow journalists to visit prisoners unless they agreed that they would never publish anything they learned in those visits. The prisoners challenged these rules, arguing that they were an unfair restriction on the prisoners' right to free expression, and that the rules also undermined justice by preventing journalists from seeking the truth. The UK, like Australia, has no constitutional Bill of Rights. The Parliament can simply legislate away rights. The legality principle says the Parliament can only do this in a very clear and open way. The Parliament must plainly say, "We are removing this right." Otherwise, the legality principle says the court should always interpret statutes in a way that preserves those rights. So the starting position should always be that the rights are intact unless and until the Parliament clearly says otherwise. Lord Hoffmann said, "Parliamentary sovereignty means that Parliament can legislate contrary to fundamental principles of human rights. The constraints upon Parliament are ultimately political, not legal. But the principle of legality means that Parliament must squarely confront what it is doing and accept the political cost. Fundamental rights cannot be overridden by general or ambiguous words. In the absence of express language or necessary implication to the contrary, the courts therefore presume that even the most general words are subject to the basic rights of the individual." In this way, the legality principle is one of the most important protectors of our common law rights and our democratic freedoms. Courts will still begin with the assumption that the Parliament intends to leave rights intact unless statutes clearly say otherwise. In the end, the prisoners got their visits.